Yes guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this video as much as I did making it. This video guys is a SmackDown vs Raw all the way through a WWE 2K20, which is our current game of WWE 2K games. This is my tier list, so any sort of like opinions I would love to hear down in the comments about what your opinions are of what ranks the best and what ranks the worst. The way this works guys is this S all the way down to D. Basically S is the best, like the very best game like you think, and then D is pretty poor, like didn't really knock it out the park or anything like that for you. This one guys is just my opinion, so I would love to hear about your opinions, but instead of me rambling on guys, I'm just gonna get into it. So guys, we're gonna start off with the original SmackDown vs Raw. I personally didn't play this one a lot, but I have played it a few times to where I understood the game. It wasn't really fantastic for me, so I'm gonna end up putting it in the C column. It wasn't great, it wasn't fantastic for me. I understood a lot about then, but I wasn't really into games when I was a lot younger. But yeah, so that one will drop into the C. I will change it around if I do find it I need to, like obviously with other games that are going in, like my opinion. Moving on guys, we're going to the 2006 SmackDown vs Raw. This one guys is probably one of the first games that I actually did properly play. I really enjoyed it, going back to that sort of year, things like that. It was fun to play. It was very minimal what to do, but I'm going to move this into the B column just for the fact that it was better than the original SmackDown vs Raw, but it wasn't amazing. Still, it was there. It was average. But going into SmackDown vs Raw 2007, which I'm going to stuck into the S sort of region. Me personally, that is the greatest game that was actually released. A lot better than most of the other games and stuff like that. Up to like currently, I think this is the most asked for game again. It's still the most played actually on PlayStation. I think PlayStation 2 it's actually more played on. But this game, it brought GM mode, obviously an enhanced version from 2006. This obviously it's an amazing game. If you guys haven't actually played it, I would recommend actually playing it. It's really fun. Obviously you've got like your main superstars like Triple H, Undertaker and stuff, but the whole GM mode was really fun. If you guys haven't actually played it, it's a well fun game mode to play. It's everything that's up with you, and it gives you a bit of challenge as well, where I get you to go like one-on-one with the other side and stuff. You select your own superstars if you want to, or you can have the current rosters. To me personally, that was one of the better games, so I'm leaving that in the S section. Next one, guys, is going to be the 2008 version of basically the same game. It's just added more characters and stuff. Like it brought in CM Punk, Bobby Lashley, ECW era. I believe that was 2008. Absolutely fantastic, and I did actually like it, but that is probably going to go into the B section as well, just for the simple fact it was pretty much the same game from 2007. There was a lot of bugs with the game and stuff, but was never really fixed. That was out PlayStation 3 as well, I believe, but still PlayStation 2. I'm not going to talk a lot on that one because that one was pretty much the same as 2007, just not as fun. We're going to jump into I think it was SmackDown vs Raw 2009, I believe. This one was one of our first ones for Xbox 360 and things. It was really fun. It was, don't get me wrong, I think it brought out, I believe it was the Road to WrestleMania. That was like the start of it. But for me, it was fun, so it's going to go in the A section. I just don't think it was as fun as it could have been. It brought out new modes to create a superstar and things, but wasn't exactly amazing, if you get me. Which leads us into the 2010. That one brought out a brand new a brand new mode. I think that was Road to WrestleMania still, but I think it was like you could wander backstage and things like that. So it was like it had like a free roam sort of thing like they wanted to try. Didn't really work as well as what they wanted to, but it was still really fun. That one obviously wasn't amazing. Obviously, like with developers, they want to add a new sort of system in to keep it fresh. Fans really liked it, but just didn't enjoy it a lot. But yeah, so that one, guys, is probably going to go into the A section as well, because it brought out something fun. It was fun for a few months. Obviously, WWE games, they do get like repetitive all the time and stuff, but these were like top-notch games that they were releasing. Going into 2011, guys, was probably the same. I wasn't a fan of this one, to be quite fair. 2011, it was exactly the same as 2010, but just not as fun or cooperative. A lot of bugs in that game. Nothing really fantastic. They brought out some new superstars. It was fun to see. Like the Money in the Bank matches were fun to play in that one, but just wasn't amazing. And then moving into WWE 2012, which is the one with actually Randy Orton on the cover. This game was fun, but not as fun, if you get me. It brought in, I think this was the year that you could actually have, I think it was a Create a Wrestler Road to WrestleMania, and this is where you had like WCW and things like that. That one was absolutely perfect to play. But the stories were very, very short, and sometimes it was just you going into one match and then just to a next and to a next. There was no like cutscenes in between like you would expect with a story mode. But wasn't exactly like I'm going to push the boat out, I believe, and it just wasn't amazing. It was average again, probably the same as the 2006 and the 2008. It was pretty much similar, but not a lot of going into it. Which brings me to 2013, guys. I really enjoyed this one. The amount of superstars you could create, the customization, things like that. It was so fun. So I'm going to actually put that one in the not that one. I'm going to put it in the 2009 to 2011. It was fun, and it was enjoyable. Online mode, things like that for PlayStation 3 could have been better. Obviously, it was PlayStation 3, but it was a really, really fun game. Right, guys, moving on to WWE 2K14. This game actually brought in the 30 years of WrestleMania. I'm going to stick that one in the B, because if it wasn't for that game mode, I don't think this game would have actually been that high up for me. 30 years of WrestleMania actually had Undertaker as one of the most unbeatable characters you've ever seen in a WWE game. Like, you could be winning, you could have like infinite finishes, and all of a sudden Undertaker power drives you and you're gone. And I think there was only actually one superstar I could actually use. I think it was John Cena at the time. I think it was the only character I could actually use to actually beat Undertaker. But the story behind it, like there was a lot of like promo type stuff to that match. Like you jump into 30 years of WrestleMania and you play a promo, and it's like whole WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania 30, I believe, back then. And it was just so fun. Wasn't really like amazing, like graphics wise and stuff, but yeah, it was fun. But if it didn't have the 30 years of WrestleMania, I believe like you're probably going down here, to be fair, or maybe even here. Like there was nothing in that. But for now, guys, because of that game mode, it's literally going into the B mode. Which leads us into WWE 2K15. This is where it jumped over to the next gen, I believe. Nothing in the game. There was nothing. Like the graphics, you jumping over from last gen to next gen, and the graphics didn't change. Like the things 2K put out, the graphics changed. You got the game, and they didn't. This one, I hated with a passion. So I'm putting that one in D. If you guys have got a different opinion, please tell me. and just there was nothing there. I think they had like a WrestleMania story mode there where you play. I think I'm not even too sure. I think W2K16 was the one where it really changed, but 2K15 didn't have anything really in it. 2K16, though, as we've just said, actually did where it changed, but even then, it wasn't great. 2K16, they had like obviously the Stone Cold era version of it, and then I think this one had CM Punk versus John Cena in the whole story. And I think there was two. I think you could purchase like other ones and stuff. I think there was like Hall of Pain and stuff, but wasn't very entertaining that way. I believe that was the actually end of bad games, as in like not enough content. But yeah, there wasn't anything really bad about it. It was just, it wasn't fantastic. But anyway, guys, moving on to WWE 2K17. This one, I'm actually going to put in A. Some people didn't like it, some people did. I personally enjoyed it myself. This is obviously, I think this was the Brock Lesnar and Goldberg build-up because of this game at Survivor Series. It was fun. Played it. A lot of new superstars and all that stuff, and it was really fun for me. I think I had over about 56 playing hours on this game, which pretty much sums up my life. But 2K17 was a really good game for me. 2K18, on the other hand, back into the B section, it wasn't bad. Really wasn't bad, but it wasn't fantastic. Like, there's a lot better games on this list. I mean, this isn't even top end B, it's lower end B, so you're probably looking at here. But it wasn't fantastic. It didn't have a lot. They had a story mode. I think obviously 2K15, 16 and 17, 18 all had story modes, but it was lackluster. It didn't really entertain me as such. 2K19 though. 2K19 is probably going up to here because 2K19 was a really fun game. There was a few bugs to start off with, but there wasn't a lot. And yeah, it was a fun game. All of them are fun. It just wasn't for me. 2K19 though was like, it just wasn't. For me, it was a fun game, but to others it wasn't. And yeah, it had me playing for a while. It had, I think this was the first year they brought out like the not the skills, but they had like a skill tree, and you could like work your way up the tree. This was the story mode. However, I believe this one is the one where if you got on the bad side of the authority, you ended up first in the Royal Rumble, and from there you were literally grinding, and it took me hours to actually complete it. And thank God I completed the story mode, because if I knew what was going to happen, I'd have probably gone the other way just to make it a little easier. It was a lot of stress, a lot of playing time just to even get past one story, but it was fun, and yeah, that's why it's going into tier A, guys. And last but not least, guys, we've got 2K20. I don't know where to start with this one. I'm actually going to stick it here, because even though I'm still playing it and I'm still having fun, there is still bugs going on with the game. Like, I'm playing it now in 2021, and I'm still getting stuck on the ropes or flying into the crowd or things like that. The graphics aren't fantastic for a brand new game when it was out. The community uploads is glitched, and even just the small features like the hair and the eyes and the face features and stuff like that wasn't great, and it just looks, pardon the whole story, but it just looks fake, and it's not really amazing. But it's going in the C section because I just don't think it's as bad as 2K15. 2K15 is the worst game by far, and 2007 is one of the best games by far. But I just don't believe 2K20 even touches 2K18. And even 2K18 had its glitches. But for me, it's going in the C section, because that's... if they fixed the glitches, it'd be fine. It'd move up. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, that is my tier list for WWE 2K games and SmackDown vs. Raw games. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Please leave a like down below and hit that subscribe button. And please, guys, I would love to hear your comments in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you guys think's the best game and what's the worst game. With that being said, guys, I will catch you guys in the next video.